Welcome to Marriott MBA Today. I'm Dan Patton. I'm joined again by Ryan Siemens, who was on a previous clip with us talking about LinkedIn and leveraging some of the power of LinkedIn. Ryan, thank you so much for coming on again. I just wanted to follow up a little with you on the discussion that we had previously. You mentioned at the very end about how LinkedIn should be fitting in with your overall networking strategy. And I think a lot of us don't really think too much about networking strategy. Networking in and of itself is a terrifying thing to some of us, right? And so we do it a little bit. We go to cocktail parties. We connect with people on LinkedIn. But can you give me a little more of an example of, what is an example of a good networking strategy, or what's your networking strategy?
Yeah, so I think, one, it's common to have anxiety about networking. For me, I came to the MBA program to become better at networking because I felt like I was horrible at it. Because I viewed it as going to a cocktail party, gathering a lot of business cards. For me, a networking strategy is, one, realizing overall what is networking. Keith Ferrazzi's book, Never Eat Alone, is a great read. You should definitely read that if you haven't. And he talks about networking being giving and receiving generosity. The fact that you have to not only be generous to other people, but you have to ask and be bold in asking for generosity. So then tying that to an overall strategy, obviously we've had strategy classes and we talk about a personal strategy. A networking strategy for me ties into what is your personal strategy, and then creating action plans on who can help me accomplish my personal strategy.
Interesting. Okay. Well, can you walk me through a just, I guess, a general example of, well, what are some of the components that need to be present in a networking strategy? How can LinkedIn help you with that?
Yeah, so just like we talked last time about profile, connections, and content, using those three areas as a networking strategy is powerful. For instance, I want to start a business someday. I have a web development background, and so one thing I've looked at is, one, on my profile, I articulate the fact that I like to connect people and ideas, and I like to use technology to do that. Then looking at connections, as I've talked to people and reached out to people, I look and see, hey, who are they connected to, that people who are interested in business, entrepreneurship, technology. And even a couple weeks ago, I asked a friend, I said, hey, there's a guy in Salt Lake who has a background in lean startup, has been interested in that field. Hey, could you introduce me to him, because I'd love to just start a conversation.
Now, with connections, that reminds me, we were talking a little bit before the show. You said you even gleaned a rating system on connections in order to classify. Can you talk just briefly about that?
Yeah, so this comes from the book City of Influence, which is a short read business novel on networking. And they suggest you classify your network into 4 different classifications. Level 0, which is a data point. Level 1, which is I've had one positive interaction. Level 2, multiple positive interactions. Level 3, we're learning about each other, and we have a cycle of we're giving feedback to each other and helping each other out. And so as you classify that and think about your network and how you're interacting with people, for me it's been powerful because I look at my strategy and then I say, who are my level 3 people? Who am I interacting with on regular basis? Are there people who I'm a level 2 with, so that I've had multiple positive interactions, but we don't go to each other regularly for things, that I could do more to reach out to them and have a better relationship? And again, tying that back to strategy, what are my goals and dreams, and who can help me accomplish those goals and dreams?
Excellent. Okay, so once you've gotten your connections classified and you're really working with them, is there anything else you need to do beyond that in terms of your strategy?
And this is for me the key with LinkedIn, create a plan and spend time doing it. If you're using it every day or every week or whatever you articulate that, hey, this is what I want to do, it's going to be able to provide value because you say, here's what I want to do, and you're planning and cultivating, you're looking at your connections and thinking, am I providing enough value to people in my network, and is there anyone who I could reach out to for help? That's the key for me, is spending time in it and having an end goal that you're trying to accomplish, and looking at skills and ways you can help other people accomplish their goals.
I think that's something really important. It's more of a give and take, and I think a lot of us might think of networking as connecting with people so that we can take one day.
Yeah, which that's a really short-term strategy. Long-term is looking at, hey, instead of a transactional relationship we're going to have, how can I help you transform? How can I help you achieve your dreams? Right. And similarly, how can you help me? Not keeping score and just being generous with each other. Things always come back to be beneficial when you're willing to serve other people.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Ryan. Thanks for joining us and dispensing of some of your wisdom on LinkedIn and also on networking strategy. And thank you for joining us. This has been another episode of Marriott MBA Today.